Hey. Jump on in, guys. Jump on in. Doing a little live today on LinkedIn. Sounds like Facebook might be having issues, so if you can't see me there, I apologize. Looks like it might be working, but jump in, ask your questions, ask me anything. I have a fun topic I'm going to dive into today, which I'm really passionate about, right? This has been our whole business for the last 20 years, which is content, right? Content equals currency. Content equals currency in B2B marketing, business to business marketing. If you're marketing, selling, promoting to other businesses, your content is literally in an exchange, right? Content out is exchange for currency into your business. If this is blowing your mind right now, you are behind on the current times and best practices for getting more business in the door in 2021 and beyond, right? There's been a huge shift. Obviously, this last year, a lot of stuff's gone digital, not as much in-person networking, conferences, trade shows, industry events that you'd actually get to go and meet people with, which is why my premise for you really is that content is currency. And the reason being, the reason it is the way that it is in order to do more business, number one, people have to know you. They first have to know you to be able to flow to you, flow business your direction. They have to, number two, they have to like you. How do you get people to like you if you don't meet them in person? Or how do you attract them to like you if you're not meeting with them in person? And they have to like you, know you, like you, and they have to, number three, trust you. Can I trust you to solve my problems? I would say a fair 80% of businesses out there are not doing a good job at amplifying this, amplifying out the know, the like, and the trust factor. Content is the key driver. Content's the key vehicle for this. And so many struggle to pull this off. Now, I'm going to break this down for you today. I have a simple system that I'm going to teach you today that you can follow to create infinite amount of B2B content, whether you sell to manufacturers, to IT, telecom industry, you sell to Fortune 50 companies, Fortune 500 companies. Just go look at the stats, right? People are educating themselves way more than ever before. What is a buyer going to do before they talk to you? They're going to look at your website. They're going to look at your social media profiles. They're going to validate and verify that you're a real person. And there's a number of stats that show, I might botch this a little bit, so bear with me. I'll provide you the stats if you want them. The majority in the B2B sales process, if you're the seller that can, number one, get to the buyer first when they're in that stages of purchasing process of procurement, if you can get to them first and you are the sales rep, the marketing department to provide the most valuable information throughout that sales process, you are significantly, I think it's like 65 to 70% more likely to win that business, to earn that business. And that's the challenge too, right? B2B sales, the cycles can be long. I mean, I know clients of ours, some of their sales cycles can go 2, 3, 4, 5 years, could be 90 days, could be 6 months, could be 8 months, whatever it is. Ask yourself this question, whether you're a seller, whether you're a part of the marketing department, you're a CEO, business development leader that's overseeing all of these activities, ask yourself the question, what am I doing to maintain relationship and engagement with my buyers throughout that process? Now, another great stat that you should know, which is vital for this topic today, is only about 3%, right? 3% of any buyers are ready to purchase from you at any given time. The rest, the 97%, are in various different stages in the cycle. Some of them are ready, maybe next month, maybe a couple months down the road. And so the point is, when the time comes up and they fall into that 3% category, who are they going to go to? Are they going to go to you? Or are they going to go to a competitor? Are they going to come meet with you first? Are you the first company that's top of mind that they're going to pursue, or are you at last of the list, right? Content is the solution for this, my friends. Content is the solution for this. So here's where people really struggle, okay? And here's how I can make it easy for you. Now, what do I mean by content? Because again, something I see so often, whether we're talking email marketing, whether we're talking SEO, whether we're talking LinkedIn especially, is the wrong way to do content, which is just taking other people's blogs, other people's videos, pictures of cats, motivational quotes that aren't even yours. You didn't produce this, and just filling your feeds with the shit, right? Filling your feeds with all of this stuff. So custom content is the way. You want to be the voice of the educator. You want to be the thought leader. You want to be the person who is leading the education. So if there's other experts out there, if there's other resources, pull those in and repurpose them in a way that it's coming from you and coming from your voice. Now, this is where it gets difficult, right? Something else to consider too is maybe you're like, well, dude, I'm already writing an article every day, or writing an article every week, or I do 10 videos every week, or, I'm sharing all these graphic images that have our brand on it. What I like to think of is everybody educates themselves differently. Everybody has their own learning style. So I like we coined this term a couple of years ago. We call it the trifecta effect. The trifecta effect is really the means to complement all the different ways that your buyers educate themselves. Again, some CEOs prefer video. I'm a younger millennial and I still read a lot. And vice versa. It's a mix between all different people. So what you really, it's no good to just pull off one custom type of content. It's no good just to write articles or just to do video, just to do visual graphic. You really need a culmination of all of them combined, okay? By the way, if you're watching this after the fact, no cats, man. If you're watching this after the fact, you get any value out of this information, please share it, tag somebody on this video, share it with somebody else, share it with somebody on your team. If you have any questions, drop them in. You can hit them after you've watched this, if you catch this in your feed after the fact, or if you're tuning in, checking in right now, I'm here in real time, I can answer your questions. So how do we solve this, right? There's an easy formula to pull off the trifecta effect, and I'm doing it for you right now. I'm literally participating in creating custom content right before your very eyes, and I'm able to get infinite amount of content from this. So let me give you an example. When I'm prospecting on LinkedIn, instead of just doing what everybody else does, I'm actually going out and seeking to get feedback and interviews from my client base. Instead of saying, hey, can I meet with you for 15 minutes to give you a sales pitch? I'm actually pursuing potential clients and partners and offering them, hey, would you be interested in hopping on for 20 minutes so I can interview you? I'd love to highlight your subject matter expertise in my content. 9 out of 10 times they're going to say yes to that. So what do I do in that process? I hop on the phone with my clients, with my prospects, and I interview them and I ask them questions that help me understand what's in their mind. What are their biggest pains? Instead of me as the marketing department or the sales department or business development department, the driver of new business, having to get creative and come up with all the content and all the ideas, I let other people do it for me. So the reason I did this stream today is because I keep getting questions about, man, I know I need to be doing content this year, but I don't know how to pull it off. I don't have the team. I don't have the resources, which is bullshit. Anybody can do this with next to zero cost, and you can do it consistently. So in that process, I'm asking people, what are your problems? What are your challenges? What are you trying to solve right now? What have been your biggest wins? Why did you have those biggest wins? and I get that feedback, and then I just write. I have a running notepad on my phone of topics. So if somebody has a question for me that I know the answer to, boom, I have a piece of content right there. Now, what I can do with that is one of many different forms to develop out that trifecta effect. So if I do an interview, right, if I'm doing this live stream on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube right now, I can take this video content, I can download it from this platform, and then I can create 10, 60-second, 30-second clips. And then boom, I have a whole month's worth of video content from this one stream that I did. Okay. Next, I can strip the audio out of this. I can easily turn this into a podcast. Podcasts are so cheap to start, guys, and they're so the barrier to entry of getting a podcast launch is next to nothing. And it's a great vehicle for people to listen in with you, listen in and build a relationship with you, right? Again, goes back to know, like, and trust. I can take the transcript of this video I'm doing right now. There's hundreds of platforms out there. I can re-upload the audio. I can strip out the text formatting, and then all of a sudden I've got a blog post, right? Okay, so with me spending 10, 15 minutes doing this, I have 3 months worth of custom content. That's me, my voice, my expertise, my subject matter expertise, the value that I can bring. And notice, I'm not here pitching anything. I'm not pitching you my product, not pitching you my service. I'm giving you free information that you can take action on. And then when you're like, hey, dude, I'm stuck, I don't have the time, I can't pull this off, then we can do the custom content for you. That's what we've been doing for 20 years, right? So identify the ways that you can get questions your prospects already have in their mind. Get that feedback from your prospects, whether they buy from you or not, it doesn't matter, okay? Because you're going to use all of those conversations that you're already having to put the content out to get currency in. The way content marketing works in the B2B world is the exact way that energy works in the metaphysical world. So if I push something, that energy reciprocates. Energy out equals energy in. It may take some consistency. Every time I do these live streams, even though I don't want to do them, I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to go hop on live in front of people. Every time I do these, I get a new lead. Someone messaged me on Facebook, comes in from my YouTube page, comes in from LinkedIn. So it's worth it, right? You're not experiencing that because number one, you're not being consistent. Number two, you're not putting custom content out. Number three, all you're doing is talking about yourself. All right. How can you get people to know, like, and trust you? So I'm going to pause real quick. I have a few more things that I wanted to touch on that theme. Content equals currency. Content is money, baby. And all it takes is your energy to put it out. You don't have to pay for it. You could probably spend less than $25 a month to get your content needs resolved if you're able to organize it, pull it off yourself. So let's see here. We couldn't schedule a call. Ben Evans, what's up, brother? How's it going? How could you be able to be live on LinkedIn? LinkedIn has LinkedIn Live. If you're on our email list, matter of fact, I'm putting out an email this week on how to apply to get LinkedIn Live. If you want to get LinkedIn Live, make sure you're subscribed. If you don't know how to subscribe, well, first off, that's my bad, but send me a note. I'll add you to our list and you'll get that email. But to get LinkedIn Live, you have to apply. You have to go through an application process. You have to demonstrate to LinkedIn that you've put video content out before, that you are, you've done some streams before, and chances are you'll get accepted in. And the great thing is a lot of people have given up on LinkedIn Live. I don't care about the views. I don't care about the likes. I don't care about the engagement. I care about that one person who sees it that takes action on the information. So LinkedIn Live, you got to apply for it. Hope that answers your question. Any other questions, guys, while I'm on here? Jump them in to the chat box. Let me refresh the feed here real quick while you got me. Okay, let me see. Sorry, this is doing a bad job at bringing in all of the notes. Okay. How do you get over your fear of doing lives? I don't mind pre-recorded, but I feel coming on and live on in live time is important? I know that's a silly question because mostly you don't get over fear. You just do the dang thing. But I just get so scared and don't do it. I get it. I've been on hundreds of videos and I've been on podcasts and speak in front of people. Every single time I hop on, I still get that little sense of fear. My advice for you, Alyssa, great question. When you feel that sense of like fear, just recognize that that's a form of excitement. So that comes with this whole content theme as well. It's so important to get your stuff out there. One, you have to check into your mindset and realize if what I have to share on live is valuable, it's useful, well, then at the end of the day, it's my responsibility to get it out in the hands of people. It's my responsibility to get it out there. So that's how I think about it. And then secondly, when I realize, man, I'm terrified to jump on here and do my live, then I just realize, actually I'm excited. It kind of feels like fear, but it's actually excitement that's driving me to do this. So turn that fear into excitement and understand if you have something valuable, if you have something useful to share with the world, it's your responsibility to do it. And you can't, you're put on this earth to not divert that responsibility. So get after it. Okay. Some other questions. Let's see here. I get asked pretty often too on our collaboration funnel. This is why I'd also really recommend you get signed up in with our 15-day challenge. We've developed this method called the collaboration funnel. So instead of going out to your market and doing what everybody else does and either tries to give fake value or build a relationship or, hey, just meet with me for 15, 20 minutes. I want to sell you something. We kind of turn that on its head. And I just stumbled upon this process by podcast. I've been podcasting for the last 4 years. So this is a great way to create content and generate leads simultaneously. Again, I kind of mentioned it earlier, but you don't even have to create a podcast to have an interview-based platform. So think about it. When you're doing a sales consultation, when you're trying to sell somebody something, and you're doing it the right way, chances are you're already asking questions. Okay. So why not turn that process into an entirely valuable feedback loop system? What I do is I go to my prospects. I have a podcast, but you don't need a podcast to do this. I say, hey, I have a podcast called B2B Mentors, always looking for great leaders in your industry, experts in your space. Would love to do a pre-interview call for 15, 20 minutes to see if there's a potential fit. Again, 9 out of 10 people will say yes to that. And this has landed me my foot in the door with some of the largest, like hard to reach people that you can imagine. No, you don't need a podcast to do that. You can say, hey, I'm doing this video series for my audience, or I'm doing a guest blog, or I'm looking for insights just on the content that I would create that's pre-created to share with my audience. That's value for that person on the other end. I'd love to highlight you in our content. I'd love to share your expertise. These are the 3 topics that I want to ask you questions on. Would you be interested in doing an interview with me for 20 minutes to share your insights? Again, everyone loves to share their insights. Everyone loves to be featured. Everyone loves to be interviewed. Most people love to give back, provide value to others that are in the same situation as them. They love to help other professionals. So this collaboration funnel complements real value. It's not bullshit. It's real value because you're going to follow through with that. It allows you to get a meeting with people that you wouldn't get a meeting with otherwise. It so naturally leads to a sales conversation. You're on the phone with that person, interviewing them. It's all about them. It's all about value for them. And then at the end of the call, what happens? Hey, Connor, by the way, what do you do, man? Like, what's your actual business? And then that's where it leads into it. And then that turns into a sales conversation from that process. Minimally, if it doesn't turn into that, you're able to get new relationships and you're able to get valuable insights on what's going on in the mind of your buyer. Because that's what it really matters. That's what really matters when you're putting content out, is what's in the mind of your buyer. What's going on in their life? What are truly the problems that they have right now that you can solve? Okay? And the bigger the problem you can solve, the bigger deals that you can do. So find the biggest problems that you can solve. You don't sell SaaS, you don't sell sales training, you don't sell marketing services. You sell a solution to a problem. You just so happen to have the strategy, the product, the service that solves that. Okay? So this collaboration funnel, I break this whole thing down. It teaches you how to create content, how to use a collaboration funnel for prospecting on LinkedIn through Sales Navigator, turning it into content, this whole process. That's in our 15-day challenge, by the way. So this isn't intended to be a sales pitch, but I know for sure if you can get into this thing, this could be a game changer for you getting new deals into your sales pipeline. It's $99. It's peanuts right now. I'll probably bring the pricing up to $175 at some point in time, but go check it out, learn more, ping me on LinkedIn if you have any other questions. And again, I'll just wait here for another second or so, see if there's any other questions I can get answered for you guys while you got me. Let's see here, refresh this feed. It's a little laggy, a little slow. Okay, hey, thanks for the love, appreciate it. Thank you on Facebook. By the way, if you're not on Clubhouse yet, okay, and you want to learn, Alyssa asked this question, how do you learn how to be great at being live, like put on the spot? I didn't script any of this conversation before I jumped on here. I just jumped on here because I know this stuff is practice. You know, maybe just grab your camera and act like you're live. Clubhouse is also a great way to practice giving real value in real time. It really is a pressure test for those who know their shit and those who don't. So I've been all up and down Clubhouse lately. I highly recommend you go check out that app. If you haven't already, apply for LinkedIn Live. It is the best way to create infinite amount of content without having to do a whole lot of legwork. I can do this video, get articles from it, get a podcast from it, get 10 different, clips and videos from this single article. And so if you want to learn how to sign up for LinkedIn Live, I know I just gave like 10 different calls to actions here. I apologize, probably a mess. But if you want to figure out how to get on LinkedIn Live, how to get active on it, get signed up on our email list. If you sign up for the 15-day challenge, you'll also be put on our email list, and I'll walk through that whole process for you. So with that, guys, make it great. Please make sure you share this. Make sure you tag anybody in your department, in your organization that absolutely needs to see this. The more valuable content you can get out this year, the more revenue you will bring in the door. It is not a secret anymore. I think that was kind of a rhyme. Maybe not. So the more you can get out, content is currency in the digital world we live in. It's literally, I literally look at this piece of content I'm putting out right now, and it's like dollar signs all over it. Because even if it's not this piece of content that takes action, if someone gets value out of this, this topic, this conversation, and then they're more apt to check out my next video or my podcast or read one of my articles that I do. And that's going to start bringing them down further into the rabbit hole to say, hey, dude, I've been watching your stuff. How can you help me? And that's a beautiful position to be, my friends. With that, make it great. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you on the other side.